What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday. I'm back, and I think I'm going to do a couple today, but I'm starting with new OMERTA. Just dropped last night, yesterday, this morning. The song's called ANTIAMOROUS. They have been playing it at shows for a while, which I have not seen. I haven't been able to get to a show. They've been playing it live for a little while, but they haven't released the audio. So this is the official release of the new OMERTA after Hyperviolence. So we'll get into it in just a minute. Before I do a few things, as always, obviously gotta have my espresso. I'm not a professional musician. I'm not a professional reviewer. It shouldn't be that hard to tell. But, you know, I do what I can. All right. But don't expect me to get too deep into the mixing and mastering and the finer details of how a song is put together, because that's not really something that I have a ton of skill or knowledge in doing. And don't be a dick. You know, this is going to be aggressive, and possibly the lyrical content may be, what's the right word to use? Abrasive, let's say. Just know that going in. If you don't like it, that's okay. If you don't like me, that's also okay. But I try to do these things thoughtfully. And so I would request that we kind of be on the same page about that in the comments. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. This is ANTIAMOROUS featuring JOHNNASCUS by OMERTA.
Can't die together, baby, I hate you dearly. You're just a fucking bastard! She's telling me that I'm better off than if I could keep the precipice go on red. Can't be friends. She tells me that my face will pull a better in red. Got a devil dancing in my head.
All right. I enjoyed that. So, lyrically, some of it's difficult to pick up. I'm not really going to be able to go too much into the lyrical content. Some of it's kind of lost in the mix a little bit. Some of it's just so aggressive, the screaming. I'm usually pretty good at picking up vocals and screaming, but it can take a little while to. Each vocalist has their own way of forming words with the scream. So I'm not going to get too much into the lyrics. Musically though, so they remind me of a few bands or a few artists that I would say maybe are influences. I don't want to presume too much because they may be listening to shit that has only been out for the last 5 years. But one of the artists they remind me of is Between the Buried and Me. The way they shift between the Buried and Me tends to do more more developed genre exploration. So they'll be playing a song that's 5 or 6 minutes long, and they'll have a 45-second to a minute portion that is a different genre, right? You'll have a portion of a song that's like bluegrass or gospel or something, right? They tend to let that build a little bit more than OMERTA did in this one, but you still have that same feeling of, all right, we've got this straight Earth Crisis Earth Crisis throwdown, hardcore, or System of a Down. I'm also getting System of a Down. I also get some Korn influence, right? These are the artists that you're hearing sort of at the beginning of the song. And then you have a total time change, total changes to clean vocals, the music changes, everything changes, tempo changes. And then you just have this bridge. I don't know exactly if it's a bridge, but you have this section, right, where there's just a completely different tone. And then it comes back to the heaviness, and then it comes back to a little bit more grindy, slow down, not grindy, chuggy, I guess is probably more accurate. And then you do have the blast beats, you have the super sped up, like grindcore almost. I really like it. I like the way they mix that stuff in throughout the songs. The blown out drums, I think drums and maybe bass, put me in mind of 100 Gex, just because I just did a 100 Gex song, right? You've got that same sort of audio quality that sounds like you're blowing out small speakers. So that's interesting. I don't think it means anything. It's just interesting that I've done 2 songs back to back where one of the qualities is this blown out audio. Yeah, I like OMERTA. They have some haters, we will say. There's some people who don't particularly like their brand. I don't know enough about them to be really hard on one side or the other. But I will say they seem to be really committed to their local scene, to the ethic of just playing shows, right? Just get out there and play. They set up free shows over April Fool's weekend. They're touring all the time. They're playing coffee shops and bookstores. They played a laundromat. They are just trying to play anywhere that will let them play. And I have a ton of respect for that. You have to do that. If you want to make it as a musician, especially if you want to make it as a musician, making music like this, that is not, let's say, going to be radio friendly. If you want to make it as a musician that's making this kind of stuff, right, you gotta play every show you can. You gotta try to get to every kid you can find and get them to just get interested. And you gotta keep that grind up. And it's tough. It's tough, and there's not a lot of money in it. It's hard on your health. It's hard on your mental health. It's hard on your relationships. But, hopefully hopefully it pays off. And so yeah, I respect the effort that these guys are making to really, really get themselves out there, really just do as much as they can, and supporting their local scene, trying to get other bands on shows, trying to make sure that there's a community, and that's really valuable. When I was in high school, the community around our one venue, literally called the venue, that was the thing. It wasn't just the show. It was hanging out in the parking lot before the show. I tried to do a backflip off my car once at a show. Did not work. My shocks were too good. But hanging out and just listening to music in the parking lot, getting ready for the show, right? Some people were doing drugs, some people weren't. I wasn't, because I was a good boy. But that community is valuable outside of just the music, because then there's connections for people who are going to see the bands. You now have connections in your real life outside of the show, right? Maybe you make a friend or two at a concert, and now you've got friends outside of that, and you have stuff you can do. And also, you can share the music that you like, help a band grow. Yeah, I think it's great. I enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to what that comes from this new cycle of music, and I think that'll do it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water, and don't talk to cops.